debuted as the ultimate savior messiah on Bihar's ravaged landscape. And after the ruin of Lalu Yadav's 15-year rule, Nitish Kumar was seen as the healer, and indeed his stint as the 3-term Chief Minister of Bihar has provided the state with the much-needed healing touch. It's not his administrative skills or his governance track record that raises questions. Rather, it is his political somersaults that beg the narrative. For Nitish Kumar is the quintessential politician, for whom the ends matter and not the means. And the end for him has always been the throne of Bihar. Or is that goalpost now shifting? Is Nitish now eyeing a larger role for himself? This week in Cover Story, we shall try and delve into one of India's most complex minds. Whether it is his charm or his political acumen, if there is one person who comes a second to the Prime Minister's own brand of personality-dominated politics, it is Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar. And I know for a fact that some people in the opposition are seriously considering projecting Nitish Kumar as their face to take on Prime Minister Modi in 2019. But perhaps because he knows it's a losing battle, or for whatever reason, right now Nitish Kumar is keeping his cards close to his chest and is not climbing onto any one bandwagon just yet. The Nitish-Lalu alliance is at best an alliance of convenience. The two have had an on-again and off-again relationship, having worked together in the Janata Dal, where Lalu was Nitish's senior, and then of course became bitter state rivals, only to become friends again to take on the BJP in the 2015 elections. The Mahagathbandhan between Lalu, Nitish and the Congress proved to be an apt checkmate for PM Modi's growing footprint across the country. And indeed, it only became possible because Nitish and Lalu put aside their egos and ambitions to come together.
When it happened, it was kind of a political earthquake because they knew, Amit Shah and Prime Minister Modi, that the numbers says the different story. Whatever be the perception, that perception was that Nitish Kumar and Lalu, they are not made for each other. They are rather opposite to each other. One person is a family member. You know how, now we know more that how Lalu has done so much for his own family, and Nitish Kumar's relatives, I know for sure that his son has not gained anything. One of the Nitish Kumar's closest relatives is selling momos and Maggi and on the footpath. So, you know, both are so contradictory to each other, and both had a very different vision. Lalu is a very sharp politician and thinks of today. Nitish doesn't have a narrow vision. He certainly has a vision for development, and he has done few good things in his first term. So both are very different people. One is very educated and thinks in a very methodical manner.
It's absolutely bereft of ideology, though both of them started off as prominent members of the socialist parivar. So ideally there should be an ideological dimension element in their relationship, but that sort of disappeared long ago. In fact, in 1995, when Nitish's Samta party became part of the BJP alliance, he joined hands with BJP, and that was a durable relationship. In fact, much more durable than the relationship he has with Lalu. So with Lalu, it's a purely opportunistic partnership. I mean, both of them felt deeply cornered. I mean, they felt they were painted into a corner after the BJP won the 2014 elections.
In the end, the alliance swept back to power, but the bulk of the numbers were with Lalu Yadav's RJD and not the JDU. No matter, Nitish remained the CM face, but he was a hostage to Lalu, for the RJD is a senior partner with 80 MLAs to 71 of the JDU. Since Lalu is facing corruption charges, he could not contest the elections himself, but he did ensure that his son Tejasvi Yadav became Deputy CM as well as other plum portfolios in the government. And more to the point, never hesitated to make it clear that this was a government that depended on him, Lalu, for support. And more recently, with both Lalu Yadav and his son and Deputy Chief Minister Tejasvi Yadav being mentioned in an FIR filed by the CBI on cases of cheating and fraud, the alliance is once more in stormy waters. But more on that later. What is important right now, of course, is to remember that this is an alliance that is based on pragmatism and not idealism. What Nitish Kumar has to consider is, does he prefer a weak Lalu or a strong BJP? And then again, is Lalu ever weak? Because even with charges of corruption against him, his vote bank has not been shattered.
There was a caste issue. Lalu had so short of, the ground beneath the Lalu's feet is more assured and sturdy, while Nitish he has done enough successfully to make himself a Koiri leader in Bihar. But Lalu's entire persona is such that it cannot absorb Nitish or nor can live with Nitish.
That the alliance is not an ideal one for Nitish is to beg the question, but it is the most expedient. Until he makes up his mind whether to do another U-turn back to the BJP or to remain with the opposition, he will not opt out. It would be wrong to assume that the CBI raids on Lalu's relatives will upset his Mr. Clean image, for he knew already when he tied hands with Lalu Yadav that this was a man who comes with a tainted past. The CBI raids and the FIR may be the face saver, but the only reason Nitish will break with Lalu is not morals but pure politics.
Nitish is extremely image conscious. Whatever else, he is extremely image conscious, and any kind of dhabba, taint to his image. I mean, he loves to take the moral high ground on probity, against corruption. So any kind of slightest stain on his so-called record would hurt him very deeply. You know, he thinks it would hurt him very deeply, although corruption as an issue obviously doesn't matter in Bihar, because every time Lalu has been implicated in a case, he has bounced back royally.
There is no idealism left in Bihar politics as on today, because after Nitish Lalu hug, famous hug before the election, assembly election, there is no, I mean, idealism is such a not so sexy word now. I think if they do not click, it is mainly because Lalu has a very clear target to establish one of his sons in Bihar politics, and he wants to ensure that Tejasvi becomes a future face of Bihar and Bihar politics. So that would be the main reason that both of them are not adjustable anymore.
It's not that Nitish has not done business with the BJP before. He has a 17-year-old association with the Saffron Party, and some would even say that the Loya-eyed Kumar was more comfortable with Vajpayee's brand of politics than tying up with the Congress. His last stint as Chief Minister was with BJP support, and he was even a cabinet minister in the Vajpayee government. When Tejasvi Yadav's name came up in that FIR, Nitish Kumar made it clear that while he doesn't really want to break the alliance, he certainly doesn't want a tainted deputy chief minister in his government. Now there is a background to this. When Nitish Kumar was railway minister in Vajpayee's government and there was a train accident, Nitish Kumar actually resigned owing moral responsibility. That is the kind of politics he likes to practice. But then again, the Yadavs of course follow a different brand of politics.
All the NDA leaders, especially those from the BJP leaders from Bihar, are very fond of saying, as long as we were Nitish's partner, he gave a very good government. He was extremely comfortable with us. And he said they used to claim that the day is not very far when he will come back to us, because we are natural allies in governance. I mean, here again, they didn't talk about ideology or anything of that sort. They just said that our alliance is restricted to giving a good government, and to that some extent that's true, because BJP was a very good ally in Bihar. I mean, really behaved itself, allowed Nitish to do what it wanted.
In fact, it was only when the BJP promoted Narendra Modi as its PM face in 2014 that Nitish Kumar broke with the BJP. He did this keeping an eye on the state's Muslim vote bank.
Oh my God, I still recall that national executive in Patna. I was there in June 2010. It was one of the most dramatic national executives I have ever attended, because Nitish kind of sprung this whole thing against Modi in a luncheon that he hosted for the press, where he was asked. It was pointed out that Patna was full of posters of Modi and Modi fan club and so on and so forth. And he made it very, very clear that this is simply not on, and he is not going to brook anything, any show of strength, any kind of display on the part of Mr. Modi. And if he has an alliance with the BJP, it's because he is dealing with leaders like Advani, Rajnath Singh and Atal Bihari Vajpayee. I do not want to have anything to do with Mr. Modi. And he was hosting a dinner for the BJP leaders that night. and he made it very clear that Modi is not wanted in that dinner. He disinvited Modi, in other words. So the other leaders, I'm told, were quite inclined to going without Modi, but the Bihar rank and file, they put their foot down and they said that if Nitish has taken away the thali from under Modi's nose, none of you has any business to go to his dinner, and please disinvite yourselves.
But Kumar had not bargained for the Modi wave that swept the country, reducing the JDU's Lok Sabha tally to a mere 2 of the 40 seats from Bihar. Kumar took responsibility and resigned as Chief Minister, putting in place a puppet in the form of Jiten Ram Majhi to keep the seat warm till the state elections in 2015. When the BJP asked for a trust vote, the RJD stepped in to save Nitish's government and the first seats of the Mahagathbandhan were sown.
Nitish Kumar used to say that Lalu ke पेट पे सांप रेंगता है, in the meaning Lalu is jealous of me. That's a very Bihari proverb, that उसके पेट पे सांप लौटता है, लेटता है, मतलब the people, he is jealous of Nitish Kumar's leadership. And Lalu used to say that Nitish Kumar के पेट में दांत है, meaning he can take on enemy like anything. So both of them know each other well. Both of them know they are not made for each other. They are not at all complementary in any way. But still they came together just only and only because of caste arithmetic.
That is when Nitish did another U-turn and swallowed his socialist past that had been nurtured on a strong dose of anti-Congressism under stalwarts like Jayaprakash Narayan, Ram Manohar Lohia and Karpuri Thakur. He agreed to an alliance with the Congress and the RJD to take on the BJP in the 2015 assembly polls. For both Nitish and Modi, the campaign was not just political, it was also personal. Modi and Shah led the campaign from the front.
2010 में आप वोट मांगने के लिए आए थे, तब आपने कहा था कि मैं बिजली पहुंचाऊंगा और अगर बिजली नहीं दे सकता हूं तो 2015 में मैं वोट मांगने के लिए नहीं आऊंगा, ऐसा कहा था। ये आपके मुख्यमंत्री ने कहा था।
अरे राजनीति में लड़ाई होती है। कल आप मेरे बारे में क्या कहते थे और आज क्या कह रहे हैं, वो सब रिकॉर्ड पर है। हम उन चीजों के चक्कर में नहीं रहते हैं। ठीक है, कल आप साफ थे, बोल रहे थे, आज साफ नहीं है, मेरे खिलाफ बोल रहे हैं। कल मुझ में सभी गुण नजर आते थे, आज हम में सभी दोष नजर आते हैं। ये उनको मुबारक। हम तो गुण और दोष दोनों का वर्णन होशो हवास में और सोच समझ कर करते हैं।
It became a very personal campaign. The thali was the big motive. That अतिथि को बुला के थाली में खाना परोसने के पहले थाली को खींच दिया. I mean, it was put in more dramatic phraseology than what I am saying. But obviously, it caught the sentiments of the people, of the cadre. Otherwise, on its own, BJP didn't really have much of a base in Bihar. It was always piggybacking on Nitish or whatever. But that particular slogan became a big hit. Modi became the central figure. It was a Modi versus Nitish battle.
After Delhi, the Bihar defeat was a huge shocker for the Modi-Amit Shah juggernaut. The entire opposition welcomed the win for the Mahagathbandhan. In fact, the swearing-in ceremony turned into a Shakti Pradarshan of sorts, with opposition leaders of all hues rushing to attend it.
हम लोगों ने चुनाव के पूर्व और चुनाव के दौरान महागठबंधन में आरजेडी, जेडीयू और कांग्रेस तीनों ने पूरी एकजुटता का परिचय दिया है और हम लोगों के मन में कोई बिहार के संदर्भ में किसी भी प्रकार का किसी के प्रति कोई दुर्भावना नहीं रहेगी.
But that was then. Ever since the Bihar win and his awkward alliance with Lalu Yadav, Nitish Kumar seems to have had another change of heart.
As I said, Nitish's problem is that Lalu has an ambition to establish his son as a future of Bihar, future politician of Bihar. The way Lalu was for 14-15 years, Lalu was face of Bihar. Lalu wants to see his son. And that's why both of them, their interests are clashing. and that's why Lalu is creating a lot of problem in political life of Bihar and in Nitish's life. So Nitish has very few compulsions, few options left, and he has a compulsion to take a call, and this must be Nitish has never said this, but he must be thinking that it is better to be on a winning side than on the side of losers.
Since then, there have been a couple of cordial interactions between Modi and Nitish. When Nitish went to Bihar to inaugurate a bridge and a railway line, most commented on the warm body language between the two leaders. Smiles were exchanged between the duo, who seemed to be in deep conversation for most of the meet and even praised each other in their speeches.
आज बहुत प्रसन्नता का दिन है। गंगा नदी पर दो रेल पुलों का लोकार्पण आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के कर कमलों से होने जा रहा है। ये कोई मामूली बात नहीं है कि दो चुनाव के बाद पहली बार आप यहां आए। मैं आपसे यही आग्रह करूंगा कि इसी तरह से बिहार की तरक्की के लिए आगे भी आपकी यात्रा होती रहे। बिहार की तरक्की के बिना देश की तरक्की संभव नहीं है।
Later on, again in January, on the occasion of Guru Gobind Singh Ji's birthday, the two had occasion to meet and the love fest continued, with Modi even praising Nitish's prohibition policy.
मैं नीतीश जी को हृदय से एक बात के लिए अभिनंदन करता हूं। समाज परिवर्तन का काम बड़ा कठिन होता है, बहुत मुश्किल काम होता है। उसको हाथ लगाने की हिम्मत करना भी बड़ा मुश्किल काम होता है, लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी नशा मुक्ति का जिस प्रकार से उन्होंने अभियान चलाया है, आने वाली पीढ़ियों को बचाने के लिए उन्होंने जो बीड़ा उठाया है, मैं उनकी बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन करता हूं, बधाई देता हूं।
Certainly, the Bihar Chief Minister has been giving the rest of the opposition sleepless nights. For one, he was one of the first Chief Ministers who praised demonetisation, much to the exasperation of the rest of the Mahagathbandhan that of course opposed it.
नहीं, मैं इस केंद्र सरकार के इस निर्णय का मैं स्वागत करता हूं और इसका समर्थन भी करता हूं। शुरुआती दौर में लोगों को थोड़ी परेशानी होगी, है स्वाभाविक है, लेकिन कुल मिलाकर इसका लाभ ही होगा देश की अर्थव्यवस्था को। मेरी ऐसी समझ है और मेरी ऐसी मान्यता है।
कई लोग हैं जो वैचारिक रूप से भारतीय जनता पार्टी या एनडीए के पक्ष में नहीं है, उसके बावजूद भी भ्रष्टाचार और काले धन के खिलाफ की लड़ाई में वे खुलकर के हमारे साथ आए। मैं उड़ीसा के मुख्यमंत्री श्रीमान नवीन बाबू का आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। मैं बिहार के मुख्यमंत्री श्रीमान नीतीश कुमार का आभार व्यक्त करता हूं।
The first signs of discomfort had crept into Nitish with Lalu. You know, it was obviously because if the government was going great guns, there was no reason for him to have praised demonetisation and so on. Obviously, he had begun to feel uncomfortable with Lalu, which is why he started making these overtures, you can say, towards the BJP.
Well, we need to take a short break, but after the break, we're going to come back and take a look at yet another U-turn by the Bihar Chief Minister. So stay with us. Welcome back to Cover Story. This week, of course, we are taking a look at the very interesting life and times of Bihari Babu Nitish Kumar. And then, of course, when it came to supporting the NDA's presidential nominee Ramnath Kovind, the governor of Bihar, Nitish Kumar ended up supporting the NDA choice instead of the joint candidate put up by the opposition. This got the opposition worried, especially because the presidential polls was being touted by the opposition as its first big test against the Modi government post the UP debacle. While the Congress and co knew that their candidate would lose, the idea was to bring on as many as non-NDA parties on board to give the impression of a united force against the government. With Nitish Kumar's defection, this plan came to naught.
Governors come and go. To say that the governor conducted himself in a very good way in Patna's Raj Bhavan and therefore I am supporting him, to me it sounded a bit hollow. You know, more than anything it proved that Nitish was getting uncomfortable with Lalu. He wanted to make an overture to BJP as plan B probably.
See, if you see the 17 to 18 parties meeting, you know everybody has lost election or losing ground and losing people's support. Those who are meeting for selecting president and vice presidential candidate for opposition. So I think Nitish is taking a very pragmatic view, I would say.
Of course, now the question remains is, which way will the Bihar Chief Minister go? Will he remain with the RJD and throw in his lot with the opposition? Or will he tie up with the BJP? Nitish Kumar has recently been described by author and historian Ram Guha as a leader without a party who should team up with a party without a leader. That is, Nitish should be the face of the opposition to take on Modi.
I have very clearly said earlier also, I am not the face of opposition for 219, neither I can be. मुझ में न वो क्षमता है, न मेरे मन में वो एस्पिरेशन है. प्लीज इसको छोड़ करके बात करिएगा तो बड़ा बढ़िया बात होगा. लेकिन जहां अभी आपको कोई मिल नहीं रहा है, तो कोई न कोई को तो ध्वस्त करना है, तो काहे का करिएगा. आप बताइए ना भाई, हम लोग एक छोटी पार्टी है, बिला वजह का एस्पिरेशन पालना अच्छी बात नहीं है.
Nitish has kept everyone guessing about his options, but he has put pressure on Tejasvi Yadav to either explain the case against him or else resign from the Bihar cabinet. JDU leaders say that Nitish even cited his own resignation as rail minister in the Vajpayee government to make the point.
See, he is a wise man of India, I would say. And he has some achievement. He doesn't have a strong backup of caste, but as you say that he has taken many U-turns, and I think he has taken more than a dozen U-turns we can count on our fingertips. So, but still, in every U-turn he has done something to add to his own political life. And everybody does that. Narendra Modi has taken, as you know, U-turn on Aadhaar, on many other economic issues. He has done it politically.
Definitely, he and Mamta were projected in the front line of this opposition secular coalition. Now, I think Nitish has lost that position. I mean, even if he stays with the UPA or the Congress-led coalition, his position is not going to be the same, you know, what it was after the 2014 elections. There is Mamta, she is also jousting for the same space. So he has kind of lost his cachet, if I may say so, with the UPA. Now what happens with the BJP? Advani, Sushma, Vajpayee, who were sort of instrumental in forging an alliance with Nitish back in '95. He was they all adored Nitish, and he never had it so good with the BJP as under their leadership. This is a new regime. You have Modi and Amit Shah at the helm. Now, whether they are going to pamper Nitish to the same extent, that has to be seen. Whether Nitish will have the same comfort level with Modi and Amit Shah, that's also an imponderable. I do not think he will have the same comfort level.
Well, call him an artful codger or just a pragmatic politician. But Nitish Kumar's journey from a socialist to tying up with the NDA and opposing Lalu Yadav, to then again tying up with Lalu Yadav and also with the Congress, which was once such an anathema for him. Well, let's see what his next step will be, but certainly we shall be watching it with great interest. For now, of course, that's it from us. Thank you for watching this show. We'll see you again, same time next week.